And I'm Brittany.
And today we'll be responding to Dalton's Harris live. Have you guys seen that live?
My experience with Jamaica and as a Jamaican is two different things, and it's kind of like a tightrope. I have a lot of supporters there, and they're amazing. But I also know that on the backhand of that, I'm chastised widely by a large group of people because of the perception that I'm gay.
That's the buzz of the week.
Yeah.
So the buzz of the week is responding to Dalton Harris' recent Instagram live.
Yes, so we'll be doing 3 main points. So the first point is how Jamaicans responded to the perception of him being gay. The second is him comparing himself to Buju Banton. And the third is how Jamaicans respond to him telling his truths.
Yeah.
Alright guys, and you know he's very vocal on his truths.
Yeah. So the first thing, if you guys don't know Dalton Harris, here's a picture of him here. He is a recent winner on the X Factor in UK.
One of Jamaica's.
Yeah.
No, the only.
He was the first black man to win the X Factor, and fortunately he is a Jamaican. He has entered into competitions in Jamaica also, but he's made his name on the X Factor program. So he has done great things. He's extremely talented. He is a very great vocalist. No one can take that away.
No denying that.
Yeah, he has raw talent. So yeah, that's who Dalton Harris is. He recently did a live on Instagram.
And what was he saying to the people?
Yeah, so basically a lot of people are responding and retaliating to some of the things that he had to say. He was mentioning the main thing that most people were offended by was the fact that he was saying that in Jamaica he is not being received well based on the perception that he is gay. And he said this on his live, and he has a very huge following. Hate against anybody is wrong, but I do feel like when you are speaking on any topic as a entertainer
or someone with a big platform like you have,
you have to be very careful to give the full context of the situation. So I think Dalton Harris speaking his truth that he made. So basically in the X Factor, a picture came out.
Yes.
A picture came out starting from the beginning. A picture came out with him sitting in another guy's lap while he was in the competition, and it became viral in Jamaica. A lot of Jamaicans spoke out against it. A lot of people weren't pleased with the image. They were confused. There were speculations that he might be gay or not. But there was nothing definitive because it was just a photo of him sitting in a guy's lap, right?
Yeah.
But then it did bring some controversial conversations,
right?
So it didn't confirm anything, but people were talking about it. So basically, as it regards to homosexuals and Jamaicans in general, I feel like what Dalton Harris, I have no issues with him speaking about how he's treated or how he feels that he's treated because of the perception that he is gay. But I would have preferred, or I would have really appreciated if he gave the full context in the sense of explaining Breakin or Breakin.
Yes.
And that's history based on trauma though. I think that's the key point that a lot of people don't know, is the sexual prejudice came from a place of hurt. So basically what had happened in the past was that they put all the slaves that were rebellious on the island of Jamaica, and they performed an act called buck breaking, where they would
demasculate,
they would demasculate men who were known to be leaders or rebellious to the orders that they were given. In front of their sons, in front of their families, they would actually rape the men publicly to shame them, to take away their manhood.
After they finished beating them.
Yes, stripping them, beating them. This was something that was very common, particularly in Jamaica. And because of this, we have post-traumatic stress disorder. We have a lot of trauma that was passed down generations onto generations. So Jamaica truthfully has been struggling with this trauma, and you guys can research it for yourself. So that is where it's coming from. So I would have been pleased if he
he himself was educated enough to have a broader view on this topic.
Right.
Not just have one-sided view, but also have a little understanding and empathy for where your people are coming from.
Yeah, because as a Jamaican, growing up in Jamaica, we have a more insight on our real culture. The world already perceives Jamaicans in a certain type of way. But when you are actually Jamaican and you grow up in the culture and you understand the culture and you listen to the music, and if you actually did some research, because he said he knew it was wrong when he grew up, and I knew it was wrong.
And even hearing it in our lyrics.
Yeah, and stuff like
A
that.
lot of our dancehall lyrics.
So I'm assuming that he would have been prompted to do some research and figure out why is it that we are particularly affected by homosexual comments or positions or relationships in general, and this is coming from history. So I feel like if he had added that to his life, I would have appreciated it, because him speaking his truth
it's facts. You know, we're not disputing that there isn't an actual issue in Jamaica where this is concerned.
Yeah. So most people right off the bat, because I'm Jamaican, they would assume that I am homophobic. And honestly, that's very hurtful for people to just judge me that way.
Yeah.
People actually approach me and ask me, like co-workers or so forth will ask me, like, you know, I know you're Jamaican. I've always been nervous to ask, but are you? And I'm like, no, I'm not. So for him as a Jamaican, growing up in Jamaica and seeming like he's an intelligent person, I feel like he should have added this to the context of his life, just so that people can gain some knowledge in the process. Like,
right, because even he says that he has chosen this as his vocation. Like this is what he's gonna use his platform to do to educate people on these issues.
Right. So
you have to give them the full picture.
Yeah, you have to give them
you yourself have to understand too. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like if you had that in your arguments, it would have been more relatable. People receive it, versus it seems like you're demanding people to. It's like
you must accept this.
Yeah, like this is my opinion. This is what I experience, and you need to accept this, or you need to do this, or it's like you're forcing or seeking the validation versus just walking in your truth. Being positive, giving off positive energy, keep working hard, focus on your craft, because in due time you will get the recognition that you deserve. And that brings us right on to the topic where you actually compared yourself
like
to the legendary Buju Banton. Like, what?
Young man, take a
This is where, and this is another trigger for a lot of people.
Like you just starting your journey, as I said earlier. This is an icon, a big Jamaican icon, a man that has contributed so much
to the culture,
to our culture.
Buju Banton is somebody who have contributed to the Jamaican culture tremendously, and the way how you class him as this ex-convict, when he came home, he was greeted by Jamaicans.
Like I remember when I went back home, I was hidden in the back of the airport. You know, you know, nobody came to greet me, but they did for other people that want American things, and they also greeted a person that was convicted for drugs.
I mean, he earned that. And when you want to start back from the history of Buju Banton had his first single out when he was 14 years old. He has been nominated for numerous awards globally. He is a Grammy-winning award. Like, he won a Grammy for the Best Reggae Album in 2010. He has earned his bragging rights. So to compare yourself, like
what?
So like,
it's kind of laughable. Like,
yeah, like,
you know, it make it sound like you're really whining when you
choose to compare, and the way how you, for everything good that Buju has done, to the way how you chose to describe him was a little bit of a red flag for me, because like, yes, Buju spent time in jail. He used his time wisely to become more educated in his career. He spent his time wisely to earn a master's degree in music business management. He even got time taken off of his sentence because of good behavior. So honestly, I don't feel like that's a good way to describe Buju as a ex-con. Like, I mean, remember you have a huge platform and you don't want to.
It seemed like him have a different agenda.
Right. Honestly, that's what came off when you said that. And Buju actually released his album this week. The same week he chose to spoke about him as an ex-con. This week, his new album Upside Down, which is a very great album. You guys should check it out. So your timing is kind of off, and it seems like after so much things that Buju has contributed to Jamaican culture, it seemed a little bit off that he chose to spoke up. You chose to speak of him in such a manner. I mean, if you never see that sold out show when Buju just came back from prison, Long Walk to Freedom, people were flying into Jamaica.
You couldn't find nowhere to stay.
Yeah. Like literally, the tourism, like Jamaica made a lot of money when Buju came out of prison for that show. Like that was historical. That is going down in the books. Okay, so
well, brother, you can't compare yourself.
No.
Yet, at least.
You're on your way.
You're on your way, hon, and X Factor, what you did, I feel like that's your stepping stone. I mean, I don't know if that's in your goals, that's your biggest goals. I doubt it. Because, I mean, your talent, come on.
Right.
Can't just be X Factor.
Right.
We're looking for bigger, better, greater things from you.
And I feel like sometimes it's not only... Sometimes you have people who are stars in a short space of time. Sometimes we need to see, for people to recognize you and give you credit, is sometimes that longevity. Like how long you last, how long how you surpass all adversities and still push through. Those things is what usually create a legend. Like it doesn't just happen like one major accomplishment.
Yeah, and then you talk about all the hardships that you had to go through for that one accomplishment.
Right.
No, and trust me, when you literally put in the work and just keep focused and do your own thing, all these things will come to light. Like
it will.
The right time. I feel like there's a right time to do a lot of these things.
And don't ask for it. Just keep working. Like don't ask for the recognition.
For us to look,
yeah.
I've been through this, I've been through that.
Yeah, don't ask for it. Just keep working hard. Life is not easy. A lot of celebrities go through a lot of things, and most of the times they keep that private or vent through private tunnels and just like bring forth positivity through their social media platforms. Or you could obviously we'll have to cope, we're humans and we have emotions and we're not discrediting all the things that you're feeling, but at the same time they still want to be mindful of the energy that you're giving off, because
and have that balance.
Right, because what you're experiencing is not you're not singled out. I wouldn't say that you're singled out in most of these things. You even mentioned that people threaten you, death threats, stuff like that. A lot of celebrities, when they tell their stories, they speak on things like this.
That comes with fame.
It does.
That comes with fame, man.
Unless fame is something that you're struggling with, but it's something that most people have to cope with. So don't make it seem like, you're like a major target. Like honestly, I don't think it's as bad as you're assuming in your mind. I don't think.
Well, I don't want to.
I don't know, but
I don't want to say that. But you have to have some kind of.
We want to see your strength. No.
Yeah.
We've heard about the weakness. We've heard about the struggles, but we want to see you.
We want to see
the strength.
Show us. Don't tell us.
And also, for the picture that we're seeing, and also as a Jamaican, I know that you know that in Jamaica there are certain things, and professionalism is major for us. So the picture that you had that was circulating with you and the guy, I feel like even if it was a female. Who was representing Jamaica and that went viral, we would not respond to it well because of the culture. Like you still have to put things into context. Like in certain cultures, they don't accept certain behaviors as normal. Like here in Canada, public affection is not.
Like people will literally come over to you and touch you and ask you to leave their business establishment because
you're making other people uncomfortable based on your
public display of affection.
So don't make it seem as though if a Jamaican don't see a certain behavior. Like even if it was a female sitting on a man's lap.
If Tessan, she was on The Voice the other day. If it came out with Tessan in a next contest or a next man lap, sprawl off, like,
it wouldn't be favorable.
No,
it wouldn't be something that Jamaicans would speak out against it, because we do still have a certain level of, like, we have certain morals and values that we instill in our culture still, that still holds a lot of true value to us, and that this is the reason why people will respond to it. So like anything that's over sexualized in a professional setting or a competition, people in Jamaica will not respond to it well. Period.
You're representing us on that platform,
right?
You know, we hold you to a certain standard.
And if you choose not to do it,
behavior.
If you choose not to do it, by all means, but do not
expect everybody to be on your side, especially with such a controversial topic.
Right, so if you know your culture, you grow up in the culture, you know everything that's accepted and what's not accepted, right? And you choose to be yourself and do whatever you want, you're free to do that. But at the same time, you're gonna expect a response based on the culture and the people that you're representing. So, you know, like if you do something controversial, expect a controversial response. You'll have some people that have no issues with it, you'll have people that have issues with it, and you're just gonna have to cope with it. Some people, not everybody's gonna like everything that you do, especially when you choose to be an open person. You'll never be right to everybody. You said you want to appeal to everybody, but you know, honestly, that's next to impossible. You can't appeal to everybody. Everybody have different standards.
That's something that you're gonna have to accept.
Or you could be private. Fame. You could try your best to be as private as possible.
And trust me, honey, when you be private, that's when you will see a lot of doors opening.
Right. Yeah, you did a live talking about his mom, yeah.
And how she abused him and how he had the worst childhood imaginable. He was abused, you know, dirt poor, you know, things like that. And I feel like that's where a lot of kind of mistrust. That is where a lot of that is coming from, where Jamaicans are concerned and how they receive you. Because in our culture, a Jamaican man is expected to adore his mother regardless.
I think your intentions are good, but I feel like your approach is off, and I feel like that's where there's a disconnect.
Change your tone.
Yeah, change your tone. Be more understanding. Give the full context, because when you're speaking as a Jamaican for Jamaica to people who may have never been to Jamaica, who may have never spoken to another Jamaican, who may never have seen another Jamaican, you're gonna trust the information that you provide to them. So don't make harsh generalization. Even if you experience something in particular, give them the full context of what happened, or you know, the whole culture, or what cause and effect, you know? Like, you can't just be speaking on your perspective only when these people who are listening to you have no idea of the full context. When you're talking to me, like if you're talking to another Jamaican person, I already fill in the blanks because I understand it. I grew up in the culture. But when you're representing Jamaica on a global platform, this is where I feel like you have to become conscious of giving the full story.
Okay. So now we're at the end of our video, guys, and you know that this video is solely based on our opinion.
Right.
Okay, and we know that we may not all see eye to eye, and I know that Dalton, you have a big fan base, and if you guys disagree with anything that we say, please comment. We're encouraging all the comments. Okay, guys.
Right.
Comment below so that we can have a conversation.
Right.
Like, share this vid, and guys, come on, if you haven't subscribed to the bench, come on, guys. That's just by now, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, subscribe, guys. I mean, why not? Yeah, and definitely We do have to, the same advice that we want to give to Dalton, we want it for ourselves. We're willing to learn and hear what you guys have to say, your own experience, your own perspective.
Yeah.
So for sure, we are encouraging that in the comment section down below. So
yeah,
we come to the end of the Buzz of the week. We will see you guys next week on Saturday again. So
bye.